Want to let that one play out, man. I want to let it play out. Those of you watching on replay, you didn't get to hear it. I had a musical intro there from all the way back in 2001. Jada Kiss featuring The Lox and DJ Premier. None of y'all better. Welcome to the Geekdom 101 live stream. It is March 20th, 2024. And today we're going to be discussing Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 103, which is out now from Viz. We're going to be discussing the return of Dragon Ball Super in May because they're taking a 1 month hiatus. We're going to go over all that. We actually got the announcement today. It's official. I may even do a separate video about it. I'm thinking about that. So I'm thinking about doing that, and we're going to talk all about that today. Plus, there's a bunch of Sparking Zero footage that came out, so I'll be watching that for the first time live here on the stream and discussing it with all of you. So welcome. Once again, my name is Danny. You should already know that, but if you're new, welcome. We talk about Dragon Ball, anime, manga, and movies. And this is the first stream I've done since the passing of Toriyama. The night that Toriyama passed away, I was going to do a stream that night, but I had a friend of mine coming over, and he was already en route to coming here, and I wasn't going to stop him from coming. So I wound up not doing it. But I was going to do one also with a bunch of other creators, but I just couldn't get everybody together at the right time. So I haven't been able to get that done. But instead, what I've done is I have an entire documentary that I've worked on. It's pretty much finished now. It's going to be going up in April. The life story of Akira Toriyama. Coming to the Geekdom 101 channel, Dragon Ball In Depth. You're going to learn so much about this man's life, stuff that many of you didn't know, some of the stuff that many of you don't know, but you will, and also stuff that maybe you did know. But I promise you're going to learn something new because we're going, really deeper into a lot of his life, and I haven't been able to make something like this, but I think it's the right time now. You understand what I'm saying? And of course, when that comes out, proceeds will be going to the Brain Institute of America. I think that's what the company's called. They do research on brain injuries and things like that. Of course, Toriyama passed away from a brain tumor and complications from that. And this is the first live stream I've done on YouTube, not counting Twitch, where we get together almost every Saturday, to watch Dragon Ball since the passing of Toriyama Sensei. And this Dragon Ball Super manga chapter was completed when Toriyama was still alive. I talked about that in my review a few days ago. And it's been quite a time. I knew this day would come, but I didn't think it would be this soon. The Dragon Ball Super manga from now on, unless Toriyama left behind notes or already taught to Toyotaro, is going to be Toyotaro's thing, I suppose, right? We still are waiting to get more information. That hasn't come out all the way yet. But we are going to discuss the manga on this stream. And we're going to be discussing, like I said, Sparking Zero. So, and of course, where we go from here. So look forward to that very, very soon. Let me go ahead and, I was going to put my headphones in, but I don't know. Should we start with the manga, or should we start with the manga, or should we start with Sparking Zero? First of all, welcome. If you're just coming through, everybody's still filing in. I hope you're having a good day today. So, where should we start? Where do you want to start? Should we start with the manga, or should I put a poll up? Let's put a poll up. The polls will help us. All right, give me 1 second here. Also, super chats will be open here in just a moment. Go ahead and start this poll here. We're going to get to your super chats in a moment. Just bear with me. All right, so the poll is up right there. Start with manga or Sparking Zero. Wait, I screwed up. I wrote yes or no. Wait a minute, that is not the right. Let me do that over again, bro. I messed that up. Let's do that one more time. Ugh. That was a dumbass thing to do right there. Hold on a sec here. That was dumb, bro. All right. Where do we start? Manga or game? All right. And then we'll kind of pick it up from there. Let's see what the people are saying. Yeah, everybody's saying yes. All right, I love you. I love y'all, man. Y'all are crazy. Manga is 74%, game 27%. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and start with the manga and then go to the game. First of all, I want to promote the artist who did the thumbnail for this, Cryotic Sketches. I did a promo for him in the video that I did back on Monday. Check him out. I used to think it was Cryptic Sketches, but because you know the old, like, you know, when you look at it, like, you don't really, it looks like the word cryptic. Cryotic Sketches. This is him. Just go to instagram.com/cryotic sketches. There's a link in the review, so check that out. And here is the manga. Now, before we get to the manga, I wanted to notate something that I want to confirm right now for you guys. According to Manga Plus, which is owned by Shueisha. Remember, Manga Plus is not a Viz app. This is owned by Shueisha, the company that publishes the Dragon Ball Super manga, among other things. Right there, Dragon Ball Super arrived Monday, May 20th. So they're only taking a 1 month break, either to honor Toriyama, to recharge their batteries and think about things and where they're going, or they were already going to do it either way. So there's the evidence right there. That's right from Manga Plus. That is right from Shueisha themselves. The manga will be arriving Monday, May 20th. So look forward to that being the day when we get new Dragon Ball. So it's only going to be a 1 month break. Now, this may change. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen. Nobody could have predicted that Toriyama would have passed away the year he was going to get a new game, a new anime, and a new manga arc. Like, nobody could have predicted that. You understand what I'm saying? But from somebody who I talk to, who I trust, even though they don't work in the Japanese office, they're familiar with the people from the Japanese office. They told me that they're under the impression on the Shueisha side that they knew this was coming. They knew, basically, Toriyama did not keep his health a secret from everybody. So some knew. So this whole thing about him getting surgery in February and all of that was stuff that they're telling me they think that the whole manga staff knew. That not that he was going to die, but that there was a possibility that, you know, he might be ill. So they think that they told me they think they planned for this. So I don't know how true that is. I don't work in the Japanese office. I could not tell you. I'm not confirming anything. I'm being very honest and very open and saying I don't know for sure. But they seem to be pretty confident that they had an idea. This coffee's already kind of cold. Like, I like iced coffee. Is it just me, or like when you make warm coffee, right? When you make warm coffee and it gets cold, it's kind of nasty. But when you make iced coffee that's meant to be ice, is different. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Weird, huh? Anyways, it's okay. It's just, you know, it is what it is. So again, the manga will be arriving Monday, May 20th, which means we'll have drafts and all that stuff. We'll have announcements. I'm sure next month we'll have the announcement of the next arc. So, you know, it's coming. Now, where are they going? That's the question. So here is Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 103. I want to actually go to a couple of things that I didn't get to discuss in my video because the Viz translation had a little bit of a difference versus the translation that was done by Ragnarok Studios. Now, it wasn't a huge change, but it did fix one of the issues I had with this, and we're gonna go to it right now, and then I'm gonna go ahead and take your super chats, and then we're gonna go ahead and take calls from the Discord. Let me real quick get to where I need to get to. So, at the end of the chapter, right here. Remember how I talked about, and my review's been up since like Sunday, I think it was Sunday. So, remember how I was talking about how I didn't like the fact that Vegeta doesn't remember the Red Ribbon Army? Well, according to this translation, it's very different. In the Ragnarok translation, he basically was like, well, who's that or whatever. Here, it's different. Here, Gohan says, they're with the Red Ribbon Army, Dad, to Goku. And then Vegeta says, and why are they here? I'm betting they're scheming up some new evil plot. So, and they're over here saying that they're not. So, but yeah, the other thing about this chapter that I think has everybody talking is that, I mean, it is the end of the Toriyama era of Super when it comes to the manga. That we know of, unless there's notes that were left behind. But also, the fact that Toriyama was able to gather enough energy to actually... Did I say enough? The fact that Gohan... Did I say Toriyama? The fact that Gohan was able to gather up enough energy to be able to outspeed Ultra Instinct, that is a big deal. And I think a lot of Goku fans are pretty pissed off about that, which, to be honest, again, I don't get mad at this kind of stuff that much anymore because it's just Gohan having crazy, power scaling. Dragon Ball Super's power scaling is everywhere. But I understand the frustration that Goku at Ultra Instinct should not be getting beaten like this. At the same time, like, at least they explain that Gohan was able to gather this power. Now, Goku stopped fighting. It wasn't like Gohan fully defeated him, but Gohan was able to show that not only could he land blows on Goku, but he was actually fast enough to hit him. That's kind of a big deal. Granola had this ability, Gas had it, Black Frieza had it, and hell, if you go all the way back to the Tournament of Power, Jiren was able to keep up with Goku at speed. So it's not like Gohan is like the first guy in history to ever match Ultra Instinct speed. It's just that I don't think any of us were expecting that. I gotta find that line. I gotta find the line from Vegeta. Because here's the part where he hit him. I boosted my ki. They're talking about how strong Gohan is, which he was very impressive, of course. We can all agree. The point is, man, Universe 7 is stacked. Universe 7 has a lot of big hitters now. Yeah, Gohan being this prodigy, and then Broly gets stepped in. Or Broly steps in. Where's the part where Vegeta says he was able to break the limits? I saw the scan today. I saw it this morning. And then Broly was able to control his. So a lot of guys kind of hit their benchmarks, if you know what I'm saying. He's gone Super Saiyan. He tamed his power. Yeah, that's all good stuff. That's all good stuff. Why don't you take us on, Broly? And then that's when everybody fought. That's one thing I didn't like. I wanted to see more of this big Rumble fight. I wanted to see more of it. So let me go ahead and get to some of these super chats that we have, that people have already been sending in. I'm seeing here that Mike Friend and Dose of Wrestling, welcome to the Geek Army. You guys are new members. I appreciate it. Tuwane says, what's up, Geekdom? Did Broly stay on Beerus's planet? It doesn't show Broly going back to his planet. I don't think it showed that, because they were all in the car. So it looks like either Broly did stay or he left earlier. But why would he stay and everybody else leave? So, yeah, I think Goku probably took him back first and then he took everybody else. That's my guess. I don't think he stayed. He may have. I don't think he did. Super Alvin Jackson. Let me get his super chat here. He says, R.I.P. Toriyama, you brought joy to millions of people. Hopefully in May, the DBS manga will start a new arc or retell the end of Z. Yeah, it's one of those two things, right? Black Frieza or something new. I agree. Bahamut says, R.I.P. Toriyama, if he left no notes regarding bridging the event of Super with the end of Z and beyond, then I'll be vastly disappointed. Well, I think the big disappointment is the fact that Toriyama is not going to get to give us that post end of Z that we were all hoping for. And it's kind of annoying, guys, because me and my friends have been talking about excuse me. We've been talking. Oh, right here. Okay, so Broly. Okay, I just know. Okay, somebody in the chat pointed out Broly's right there. So I didn't even notice that the first time I saw it. When they leave to go to Earth, Broly and them. So he did stay on Beerus's planet. He did stay. He stayed on Beerus's planet, unless Whis took him back, right? So it looks like he did stay. Yeah, they're right there. I don't know if y'all. I missed it. So let me see if I can zoom in on it. Hold on. Do you see that right there on the left? Yeah, right there. Like they did stay. Thanks for. I forgot who in the chat found that, so I appreciate you guys for steering me back in the right direction. I appreciate that. There you go. That he's there. So either he did stay behind or Whis took him away. As far as Toriyama leaving notes behind, I mean, that's something that, who knows, man? Who knows? That's something that can't even be answered. But again, it just sucks that we're not going to get that post end of Z story unless Daima is that from the pen of Toriyama. Thank you, Ninja Waver. Mr. Andrew says, does Gohan have the best ki control in the series? Imagine if he was able to combine Beast and God Ki with both requiring good ki control. The best ki control in the series, I think, probably still goes to Goku. But after this chapter, man, I'm not so sure. Goku's always been the best at controlling his ki. Like, always. And, you know what I mean? And so, I would still probably lean more towards Goku, but I could see Gohan doing it. I don't think Goku was even... I know some folks are wondering if he was holding back. I mean, they were probably both holding back. Because Gohan in his head probably thought, okay, if I go as hard as I can, I might kill my own father. And Goku might have thought the same thing. That is a possibility, but there's no indicator of that in the arc. So, nevertheless, it could be Gohan at this point that has the most ki control. And as far as him combining Beast with God Ki, I mean, I don't even know what that would produce. I couldn't even tell you what that would produce. The Omega TKJ gifted 5 memberships. Thank you for that. That is kind of you and from me and from everybody else. Okay. The Ninja Waver says, love the chapter. I say Gohan's physically stronger based on knocking Goku to base. Goku just has skills and techniques. Gohan has always done this. Well, yeah, Goku's the better. You can't deny that Goku's the most experienced martial artist and that he knows things that Gohan has no idea about. But clearly, whatever training Gohan did with Piccolo after the superhero event of the movie and before the epilogue, whatever training he did was very useful. Very, very useful. That's an understatement, if I may. If I may. Because Piccolo really helped him. Piccolo really helped him. Tanner1 says, I think the humans need more time to shine. Brother, you are preaching to the choir. I think every Dragon Ball fan has said that. It's just, it's not going to happen, man. I just don't see that happening. Sly Rock 1000 says, can you please clear up the misconception that Goku was holding back in the fight because Gohan was weaker and allowed Gohan to hit him? There's absolutely no indication of that. There's no indication of that anywhere. If he was holding back, which is a possibility, I don't see any holding back. I mean, it's a possible though, because Goku was like, oh, I just wanted to get a taste of it. So there is that slim possibility based on the way he was like, whoa, hold on. I already understand how strong you are, right? But it doesn't necessarily guarantee that he was. So again, it's just not enough evidence right now. There's just not enough evidence. Angelo Sirocco says, maybe it could be Beast's gimmick. Maybe since it's a very emotional non-Super Saiyan form, it takes advantage of Gohan's emotional outbursts and gathers energy quicker. He said it boosts ki before he snaps. Well, we don't know about the emotional outburst being a factor in him gathering ki. But like what was asked earlier, like what we talked about earlier, where Mr. Andrew talked about like who has the best ki control, Gohan himself has shown a tremendous amount of ki control. Excuse me. And that's the key, no pun intended. The ki control is his strength, and that's different from rage boost. It's almost like Gohan has learned how to properly control his ki and not let himself get too mad. So it's actually the opposite. It's like the opposite of what you're thinking, like on the other side. So Tehran Aries says, do you have faith that Toei and Shueisha will do justice to Dragon Ball stories in the future, or do you think without Toriyama's insight it's a no-no? I don't know, because they have messed up in the past without him, but he's also not like Toriyama. Modern Toriyama is not the same as the original Toriyama, so it's, if they get good talent in there who understands Toriyama and they respect his work and they understand him, it could be great. It just depends. I'm sure that question, I don't know. I always felt like having Toriyama there, even if he's not the lead writer, having Toriyama there because he created the universe. He created the Dragon Ball multiverse. He created the lore. Having him there is important just because you want to have someone you can ask questions to. Can we do this? Would this character do this? What do you think about this? It's always good to have the original creator involved, even in that capacity. But with him gone now, who do those questions go to? The Dragon Ball room? Do they go to Toyotaro? Do they go to Uchida? Like, we don't know. There's so many unanswered questions about where they go. As far as it ending, I mean, we have Daima coming and the manga comes back in May. So the story, Dragon Ball is not just going to stop because Toriyama passed away. It's not. And I know some folks seem to think it is, not based on anything we've seen. So Anderson Blitz says, do you think they should do another TOP with 4 other universes that were not featured from the first one, especially how powerful some characters are? Brother, I have done multiple videos on that. Multiple videos. If you go to my channel and type in Geekdom 101, another Tournament of Power, I've done a few. And I've talked about that throughout the years since the first Tournament of Power ended. So the short answer to that is yes. That's your answer to your question. But if you want more details as far as what they could do, I have got a ton of content, excuse me, on the channel for you to watch about that. So yes, but if you want to know more about like more deeper thoughts, it's there. And I honestly think it's going to happen. Like, I think inevitably it will happen. But hey, man, we're still waiting for Sadala. Anyways, if you're stopping by, man, we got over 1,000 people right now. Leave a like, bro. Leave a like. 1,000 people, and we don't have to pretend like we have more like others. 1,000 people, bro. Leave a like. Leave a like, man. It helps out the stream and it helps me out. This damn coffee's still cold as shit. Josh90 says, what's up, Danny? Hope you're having a great day. I'm doing good. What if during the Black Frieza saga, Frieza manages to kill Beerus, like actually kill him? I've been wanting Frieza to kill Beerus since Resurrection F. Like, I'm not saying it was going to happen in that movie, but I was thinking when the trailer came out, like, man, wouldn't it be awesome if Frieza killed Beerus? Obviously, Frieza was nowhere near Beerus' level. But, man, that would be something. Any villain that kills Beerus, it doesn't have to be Frieza. Any villain that kills Beerus, Hakaishin Birisu, that's a statement. That is a statement, and what a way to kick off an arc. Beerus has been killed. Goku, you have to do something. Gohan, get everyone together. We got a real problem now. You know, like, that would be phenomenal. I've been wanting to see that for a long time, Josh. I hope that now that, like, look, I'm not sure how much Toriyama was the guy that was holding them back, but I hope they're actually going to do more brave stuff. You know what I mean? Down the road. Wisco Dippers 96. Would you consider Dragon Ball Z the ruthless aggression era? Would you do a video on why people can't let the old Dragon Ball Z dub go? I don't know. You're asking... Your questions are... No, I don't consider Dragon Ball Z the ruthless aggression era. I don't see the correlation there, except that I lived through both of them. I don't really see the correlation at all. And would you do a video on why people can't let the old Dragon Ball Z dub go? No, I can tell you, because of nostalgia. That's why. It's what they grew up with. It's nostalgia. Every single time I talk to a dub fan, every single time, all I ever hear is the music and nostalgia. Faulconer score, nostalgia. That's all I hear. Nobody ever actually has anything. I've never heard anybody say anything beyond that. It's always nostalgia and the Faulconer score. It's always those two things. Then that's your answer. I mean, just talk to them, ask them. They'll tell you. They're honest about it. You know? So that's it, man. I have an idea. Says, what do you make of Vegeta's conversation with Goku when he says no winner, no loser? Was the manga telling us answer to the Goku versus Gohan debate? Well, it's because nobody died, nobody was seriously injured, the fight just stopped. So it's considered a draw. But the fact that Gohan was able to hit Goku's levels with his energy is a huge deal for him. I'm not saying he's the first one to do it. I'm not saying it's a big deal for the other characters. But for Gohan, that is a huge deal, because now we know that Beast can keep up power and speed-wise to the God forms. And that's kind of a big deal. You gotta, if you're a Goku fanboy, and a Vegeta fanboy, you've gotta disconnect that from your head and look at things objectively. It's a big deal for Gohan. Maybe not for the other characters, but for him it is. And I'm okay with it. Yes, it's kind of... Once again, I understand people saying it's unearned. But Gohan trained with Piccolo. And because Gohan trained with Piccolo, at least... It was off screen, but at least he trained. And I think Toyotaro wrote that in there, or Toriyama, so that people understood that there's a reason why he's so strong. Demi LP says now Gohan and Piccolo need to learn how to use God Ki to use in conjunction with their new forms. Maybe not. Maybe it's not necessary. Maybe it is not necessary for them to learn God Ki. Maybe they don't need to. I don't know. Sly Rock says, does Vegeta fighting Beast in blue and Goten and Trunks fighting SSJ, Broly, and Base a gag moment or an indication of Gohan and Broly being weaker? No, it was just one panel. Not enough to indicate anything, bro. Don't look. I would not read too much into that. That was just a bunch of Saiyans having a big rumble. Don't over examine it. Mike Friend says, what do you think about Goten Trunks focusing on fusion techniques to keep up with everyone else? Training with Metamorans in U7 and or U6. X fusion from the game and Bulma creating the Metamor rings. Okay, well, first of all, I want to clarify what Mike Friend is saying for the chat. He's talking about Goten and Trunks focusing on fusion and using different types of fusion. Now, when it comes to training with the Metamorans, that's not necessary because they already know how to do the fusion pose. It's not necessary. So that's out. EX Fusion is from Dragon Ball Fusions, that game that came out on DS, 3DS. And so that's just for the video game. It was a gimmick for the game. As far as Bulma creating Metamo rings, that's the ring fusion. Again, all that stuff is for the video game. I would rather Goten and Trunks, honestly, bro, train on their own for a little bit and save Gotenks for like a more serious situation. Kind of like how Gogeta isn't used in every single arc. You don't have to. That's what I would like to see. Because Goten and Trunks have just been one half of Gotenks now. You know what I mean? Over 1,000 people and 528 likes, man. Leave a like. All you gotta do is push the button. It's free. Helps me out. I appreciate it. Instant Messenger Sama says, have you seen Eiichiro Oda's farewell Toriyama message? Yes, I have. I read all those, and that was very touching. Very touching. Dog My 88, welcome to the Geek Army. Instant Messenger Sama says, not gonna lie, a Yamoshi origin movie would be dope. Yes, it would. Of course. I would love to see that time period. Bustamante Games says, for me, this chapter is basically saying, if it weren't for Goku and Vegeta's godly forms, these boys would get absolutely bodied by Gohan and Broly. Keep up the good work. Well, they would get bodied by Gohan and Broly anyways. You know, like the boys, as far as, talk about Goten and Trunks would. Now, Goku and Vegeta, of course not, but Goku and Vegeta, they chose the path of learning God forms. So you can't say like, well, if it wasn't for the God forms, you'd be dead. That's like saying, well, if it wasn't for Super Saiyan, Goku wouldn't be Frieza. Well, obviously, like that's obvious. We know that, bro. But I'm saying that's the path that they chose. That's how they got their power. Broly, let's not forget, Broly was smashing them 2-on-1 in the movie. So, but not with UI and UE. Not with that. So, this coffee's nasty, bro. I don't know why I keep drinking it. It's nasty. I'm going to stop drinking it. Watch me drink it again in a minute. Justin Valinsky says, hey, Geekdom, love the channel. Thank you. I low-key love how each character has their own identity now, like Goku with UI, Gohan with Beast. Yes, and it's what I wanted. I like that characters have their own forms and their own road to power. I like that. Mike Friend says, Black Frieza Saga should take place after End of Z. Post Toriyama content should rename Super DB subtitle. Shoot me that Discord invite in the membership area comments. The Discord invite is in... The Discord invite is going to be in the community tab. Now, I haven't dropped one in some time. So I think what I'll do is I'll drop one now. That way you'll have access to it. You have to give me just a moment. I'm going to be I'm going to be taking calls in just a moment, and then we're going to talk about the game here. I like this chapter a lot. I think I may still like last month a tiny bit more, but I did enjoy this chapter. It was a good time. Damn, it has been a while since I posted the Discord link. It has been a minute, yo. Like, I'm scrolling back to... How far back am I going here? Hold on a minute. I'm already in 4 months ago territory. I mean, I put one up, but I think I got rid of it a while ago. Give me just one more second. Actually, let me go ahead and take these calls, and then we're going to get to that. I'll get to the Discord link in a minute, bro. Just give me 1 second. Okay, let's go ahead and bring some callers in. We're going to start. I'm going to start with Critical. Critical, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro. What's up?
What's up, man? You're live. Give me your thoughts on chapter 103 of Dragon Ball Super.
I liked it, the chapter. You know, it's basically how everything was going to be happening, you know, where Broly is almost, I believe, going to get that new transformation. And Gohan also doing the training, too, you know?
What new transformation?
I don't know what transformation it's going to be, but I do believe Broly.
Oh, so you're saying okay, you're saying he hasn't got it yet. He's going to get it.
He hasn't.
And this is the teaser for it. That's what you're telling me.
Yes.
All right, gotcha. Okay, I understand. My bad. I thought you were saying he got one. I was like, wait, what? Okay.
He didn't get no new transformation. Not yet. No.
Okay, real quick, I have posted in the community tab for members only. I have posted the Discord instructions. Go to the community tab right now. If you're a tier 2 member or higher, you have to be tier 2 or higher, and then follow the instructions, and we'll go from there. Anyways, brother, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I liked it, the chapter for what it was, and especially with the sparring match and everything. And I like the fact that, you know, Goten and Trunks also got to spar with, you know, Gohan, which is really, like, cool to see and everything like that. But honestly, like, I thought was really good was getting to see in the big one, Gohan and Broly go at it, you know? That's what I really liked about this chapter and everything that's going to be happening in it. But the thing that, which I still wanted to know, it's like, oh, why are they training for this or whatever? And I was hoping he would mention, like, Black Frieza, but they didn't. I'm like, it is what it is. But I did like the chapter.
Okay. So the next chapter is coming up in May. That's what Manga Plus said. I'm gonna ask everybody who's gonna be on the show with me today. I'm gonna ask everybody this. In fact, let me ask the chat. Chat, I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you, but I'm gonna ask the chat a question. Just give me 1 second. Let me end this poll. All right, I'm gonna make a new poll. Don't answer the question yet, bro. I'm just gonna make the poll, and then I'll push it over to you. Hold on. So here's the question. Hold on. So you have 3 options. Here is the poll I'm going to ask everybody. Where do we go next? Your options are End of Z, Black Frieza, or something else. I went ahead and started the poll right now, so go ahead and vote. So I'm asking you, where do we go next? Black Frieza, End of Z, something else. Vote, my friends, vote. So what do you think?
I honestly think we really need to go. I want to go End of Z, but I do want to see Black Frieza. And I'm not going to lie about it. We have to see Black Frieza. That's how I really feel about this.
You think that's next?
That we're doing, yeah, I honestly believe it is. It wouldn't make a difference of what they're doing all this training for with Broly, you know?
I mean, not just with Broly, with the kids now too. It's like everybody, you know.
With the kids too, with everybody, because he's too powerful. So they have to train everybody. His form is just ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, how do you feel about the Gohan and Goku thing? Because see, people seem to be up in arms about this. Like, Does Gohan beating Goku? He didn't even beat him. He just like got the upper hand. He connected. Is that like a big deal to you? Does it matter?
It's not a big deal to me or anything like that. You know, it just every time when they do that type of stuff, like even when Resurrection of F, where I actually thought, oh, Vegeta's gonna do it, and you know who did it? Goku did.
Of course.
So I'm, you know, always Goku, bro, every time.
Well, yeah, except that he loses a lot too. People say it's always Goku, but the guy loses a lot too. I mean, he didn't smash Gohan, you know?
No, he didn't.
So he lost to Black Frieza, kind of. I don't know. So right now, speaking of which, the polls looking like we have 43% for Black Frieza, 39% End of Z, and then 18% something else. So Black Frieza seems to be where people either want or think it's going to go next. I mean, we're gonna have to get there because Black Frieza is still out there, and he was brought up multiple times. Like, they're not just going to end Dragon Ball without wrapping up that story, however they wrap it up. So
yeah, that's correct.
Go figure. Anderson Blitz. Let me get this super chat real quick. He says, as someone who is Ecuador background, oh, he's Ecuadorian. I know a few of those. The reaction to Akira's death by my family and others have been surreal. Even my parents, who aren't anime fans, cried. Yes, it was a very, very powerful thing seeing all these people, you know, react the way they did. A smoke detector says Goten and Trunks should learn God since G and V moved on. Goku and Vegeta moved on. Oh, he's talking about Super Saiyan God. Maybe. I mean, they did in Heroes. Well, Trunks did. And then Luis Rodriguez Diaz says, what do you think about what Whis asked Beerus about if Gohan could be a god of destruction? There's nothing to that, bro. People look into these things so much. He asked Beerus, and Beerus said, no, Gohan does not like destroying things. Gohan's the opposite of that. That's it. That's all. Like, there's nothing more to it than that. They've been wanting to replace the God of Destruction, Beerus, for a while. That's been talked about going back to the Battle of Gods arc. I don't think Gohan's the guy. They don't know who it is. Some think it could be Frieza. Some think it could be Vegeta. It could be a whole new character. But it's not going to be Gohan. Don't think for 1 second it's going to be Gohan. Joseph Lipkin says, Geekdom, you mentioned that Gohan is now the mortal that aroused that Whis mentioned. Why can't it be referring to Frieza? I still think Black Frieza is more powerful. Because if you go back and you read the manga chapter where he said that, this is why it can't be Black Frieza. Because it can't be Black Frieza. Because literally, you have to go back and read it. Goku and Vegeta were like all beaten up, and Whis goes, I wonder if he's the strongest. Talking about Frieza, and then he goes, wait, no, it's not him. He literally says it's not him, it's someone else. He literally says it's someone else. Go back and read the chapter, bro. That's why you're asking me that question. Go back, at least look at the last page, and that will tell you. So before I put you back in the other room, bro, and bring in somebody else, what do you think about X-Men 97?
Bro, I loved it. When that came out, I watched it like right there and then. I loved every moment of it, dude. They did a fantastic job with these 2 episodes. And by the way, this is not woke at all.
No, it's not.
One little bit, bro.
No, it's not. At least not with these episodes. I didn't see anything woke.
No, I see nothing woke. Like every
dude, at this point, have you figured out by now, bro, that people on YouTube who scream woke about everything are fucking clowns? Like, have you figured that out by now?
Yeah, they do it. They do it.
They do it for everything. Everything's woke.
There's people right now that are saying the new Ghostbusters movie sucks. I'm like, BS. I'm seeing it tomorrow.
Well, maybe it does suck, but we won't know till we see it for ourselves.
Exactly.
Because even I thought, like, topping on Afterlife was going to be hard because that was an emotional movie. And it's like The Force Awakens, bro. Everybody was so hyped. And then Last Jedi came out and everybody hated, well, not everybody, but a lot of people hated it. So, all right, man. Yeah. Well, I also liked X-Men 97 a lot more than I thought I was going to. I can't say I loved every moment, but I did like a lot of it. So,
let me tell you, bro. When that comes out Steelbook on a Blu-ray Ultra 4K, I'm buying it ASAP.
X-Men?
ASAP. Yeah.
Well, I hope the thing is, man, you might be waiting a while because they're just now putting out like WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like these shows are like 4 years old, so we may not get that home release for a while. Disney's not really focused on that right now. Did anybody?
No,
Did
it might
anybody?
not happen until 3 years.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, it might not happen until either 2 or 3 years from then. But if so, I'm adding that to my collection.
Have you had a chance to watch Sandland yet? Because I got the episodes, but I haven't watched them yet.
No, they're not on. They're not on until like tomorrow and everything. I didn't get a chance to watch it at all.
Yeah, I've got it. It's just I've got the whole thing. It's just I haven't watched it yet. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna put you back in the other room and bring somebody else in. But thanks for your input.
Yeah, no problem, bro. Later. Peace.
Later. All right, love that guy. Let me get a couple more super chats in first. Hold on. Let me Spasmo says, "You're awesome, bro. Been a fan of DBZ since watching it on my local Fox channel back in 96. Yeah, that's when it first aired back in America in 96. This guy said, "My biggest problem with X-Men 97 was the removal of Rogue's ass." It wasn't that crazy. Tawana says Broly could be getting secret training with Whis. He could. Yes, that is possible. I'm not going to say it's not because we don't know, but it is possible. Eternal Warrior says Frieza's definitely plotting something. That black form is there for a reason. Yeah, I mean, obviously. He's always plotting. Mike Friend said, when should they change the super name? I have no idea because so much of the branding now is Dragon Ball Super. I have no clue. And if they do change it, what do they change it to? I don't like Ultra, Dragon Ball Ultra. That's dumb. Like, I don't know what they could change it to. But I don't know. I mean, you would think that with Toriyama's passing, they would maybe rebrand it now that he's not involved anymore, but maybe not. I mean, it's going to be Dragon Ball no matter what. Obviously. Skyrock 1000 says, Geekdom 101, you should make a video really breaking down the Goku versus Gohan fights so people can understand how amazing Gohan was. It seems a lot of people are saying Gohan lost or was weaker, which is odd. Well, I don't know who said, who the fuck said Gohan lost? Who the fuck, how do you read this chapter? Hold on a minute, that's mind-blowing. How do you read this chapter and say, oh, Gohan lost? Like, is that, one thing I've noticed about people on the internet, bro, people like to create their own reality. Like, and this is not a diss. When you have issues with your, like when you've got issues in real life, and you've got a lot of mental issues and you can't face reality because of whatever reason, whether it be your past or you're a narcissist, whatever, people create their own reality. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, are you that attached to this series that you can't accept the fact that Gohan might not, like Gohan didn't lose that fight? Like, Goku's not a real person, bro. Like, am I weird? Like, I'm a fan of Dragon Ball, but am I weird? Like, I don't know. That's just, I don't see how Gohan lost. I don't understand how Gohan lost. He did not, there's nothing about this fight that says that Gohan lost. Nothing. Nothing, dude. Maybe I should do a video on it. Maybe Sly Rock is right. It's just confusing, man. Anyways, Steven says, just being funny for a moment, but when you and everyone saw Black Frieza in the Granola arc, you've been obsessed with that motherfucker. Also, you're awesome. I mean, it's Frieza with a new form. I don't know what to tell you. People care, I guess. I don't know. Should I make that video, bro? Like, okay, I'm gonna end the poll here. I'm gonna get the next call in a minute. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna ask you a question. Hold on. Okay, so I have a new poll now. Should I do a fight breakdown of Goku versus Gohan? Okay, so that's your just vote and let us know. I just don't understand people, man. I don't understand why anybody would even. I don't get it. I don't get it. Mike Friend, rage baiting is a moneymaker for anti wokeness. Trust me, I know. I figured that out years ago. Flying Nimbus Cloud said, I bet F will be a gray character, new villain equals strongest. Yeah, always. Austo La Vista says, whatever route we do go in the story, I just hope they reintroduce Oob as another major player to the story, especially since he has now, lore wise, was born with an enormous amount of God Ki. Yeah, I mean, I cannot disagree with anything you're saying, bro. If they're gonna go past the end of Z, Oob has to be intricate in that storyline. DJ AMP says they should do a spin-off Gohan's Big Adventure. You know, he's making a joke because Gohan's Big Adventure was one of the like pitched names for Dragon Ball Z back in the day. That's what he's talking about. Let me go ahead and bring in somebody else in. All right, Hubuk, man, you're live. What's up?
Good evening. How are you?
I'm all right. Let me go talk a little bit louder, and please, I can hear myself in the background. We got to fix that.
I'm very sorry about that.
All right, so go
Should be
ahead.
fine.
What are your thoughts on Chapter 103 and this Goku
Right.
Gohan debate?
Okay. So first and foremost, my positive. I feel like this was a nice bittersweet chapter. I do remember discussing this with you in one of the few earlier streams that they're gonna have this rendezvous thing where everybody meets each other. We go into end of Z, and then we get back to this training arc before Black Frieza. So I think that's what's happened now. Although I didn't expect it to happen in this fashion, which would be one of my negatives, is that one of the things I find is that I feel it was a bit rushed because I felt like it was very cramped up with so many ideas in like a few span of pages, like Broly getting his form, the battle royale, then Goku returning to Earth. I wouldn't have minded it if it more chapters, but I understand from because it is done a while ago and also that because Toriyama Sensei passed away, they might have wanted to get into an hiatus. That's why they might have, clamped it on
Well,
all
that's what I'm
in.
saying. It was either going to happen anyways or it was because of the passing. We don't know. We do know that he was alive when this chapter was finished. That we know.
Absolutely. And this chapter also might be one of the few where there's like little to no dialogues. I found it strange, but at the same time, I don't find it weird because, it is what it is. But yeah, now coming to the Gohan and the Goku's debate, I find it stupid that people think that Gohan can't surpass anyone, because from the beginning, like
He's
it is
always
told,
surpassed everyone all the time.
yes, like Cell
That's what
Saga
he
is the
does.
biggest proof. Yes, and here's the thing: like Goku believes in Gohan. Like he showed it to us in the Cell Saga that I believe in you, that you can beat Cell. It's just you have to believe in yourself. And then from then on, Gohan has used his emotions to rile up his anger and use it to his best of the abilities, and that's what it's in Beast. And that's actually a very good development, but for some idiotic reason these fans can't figure it out. Also, I want to point this out that my mind exploded when I saw that Broly's transformation happen, because Jordan had put this in his YouTube channel about possibility of this happening 5 months ago. And when it happened, my mind blew because I was like,
Oh, I'm
"Oh
sure
God,
he's
it
gonna.
happened!"
He's coming in. I'm gonna bring him in next, so he's probably gonna gloat about that.
Yeah, but it's a personal reaction because I was like, "Wow, it did happen!" But although I didn't expect it to happen this soon, but it's what it is. Um, Otherwise, really good bittersweet end of a chapter. And I will say that moving forward, I think we should all just trust Toyotaro with what he can do because
Speak
he's
for
been working
yourself.
with Toriyama.
No, I'm kidding, bro. I'm fucking around. Go ahead.
No, that's all right. I'm
I
used to
love
your
to,
jokes.
to troll Toyotaro, bro. Trollo Taro is gonna be my name.
But what I'm saying is, because he's been working with Toriyama for almost a decade, and I believe that he must have left him like important notes behind.
Maybe.
I think we should just let him do his thing.
Let me answer this super chat right here. Smoke Detector says UI gets worse with time. Gohan beats Goku in every way. He's talking about the fact that like UI will break on you, like what happened in the Tournament of Power. But that's not what happened here. Not enough time had gone by for that to happen. Yes, if the fight had continued, I do think Gohan would have probably won because of that. Because there doesn't seem to be any issues with Beast at all. There was no indicator at all here that Beast was like a weaker form or any like there's that it gets weaker with time.
Very
You
unpredictable form.
but Goku has also harnessed UI now, and so I just don't think that I don't think it would have
The
broken on
entire
him, huh?
the entire fight the entire fight felt like monkey mind versus like Buddha nature because Goku was fighting with instinct. He couldn't predict Gohan's fighting style, and that's what made him lose ultimately. So I found
Facts.
that fight really interesting. I am ready to see your breakdown to it as well
All right,
in the
well,
future.
before I put you back in the other room, my question to you is the question I'm going to ask everybody. What's next? Black Frieza, End of Z, or something else?
So I'll keep it like this: end of Z, and then we go and continue with what happens with Oob, then Oob's training, or they rendezvous back at Beerus's planet. I want Black Frieza to be a nice slow build up. I don't want it to be just there yet. I think they can do a lot of things with it because right now our main focus should be on Oob, and then we can move on to Black Frieza. So yeah, that's what my thing is right now with the
Okay,
story.
that's fair, and I think that makes sense. I think that makes
Yeah.
sense. The right now, if we look at the polls here, people. Okay, never mind. I already answered that poll earlier. But I guess 83% of people say I should do a breakdown of Goku versus Gohan, so I will be doing that. Um, real quick, let me get to these super chats here. Flying Nimbus Cloud said Frieza being gray is foreshadowed, letting Goku and Vegeta live. I don't know about that, but I see your point. And then Sly Rock says we would absolutely to see that Goku versus Gohan video in a real fight. If Gohan knocked Goku out of UI, wouldn't there be a quick enough to blitz and kill him while he's in base for that moment? Yes, that's something else too. That yes, you are right about that. DJ Extra Picklix says Go Tanks, Brohan, and Gogeta versus Team Black Frieza. So this guy wants to book 3 different fusions. Brohan, the fusion of Broly and Gohan, Go Tanks, and Gogeta against Black Frieza, Team Black Frieza. That's crazy. That's
That's gonna be nuts.
3 fusions, bro. Like we've never seen anything like that. The closest
It's
we've
gonna be
seen,
wacky as well.
I mean, besides Heroes, the closest we've seen is like Zamasu versus Vegeta, where it's 2 fusions.
Yeah.
Right. And
But
then Carlin Ray says, I think Gohan is higher raw power, but Goku experience gives him the advantage. Yeah, I know. I've been saying that for like 2 months now, bro. That yes, Goku is way
Gohan
more
has
experienced.
experience.
I do think Frieza's still training because he knows Saiyans. Well, you're right. And the next time they see him, he might be even stronger. So that is something that's worth discussing. Anyways, bro, any last thoughts before I put you back over there?
Yeah, I'll give my final thoughts. So first on that Black Frieza thing, because he's mimicking, the science, I feel like see him much stronger, or at least much more prepared. Um, then obviously, with terms of Gohan thing, I think he is experienced in his own right because he firstly trained with Goku for that time chamber thing. And I feel like the way he figured out Beast just tells me like how much more good martial artist he has become. So yeah, it's a nice pavement that Toyotaro has now to through and formulate more good stories for us. So yeah, that's my final thoughts.
We will see, bro. We'll see. We're in a
Absolutely.
we're in a weird era now because we're moving on with Dragon Ball without Toriyama, but unlike other times where they've done stuff without Toriyama, now it's
But I
permanent
feel like,
and it's kind of scary.
but I feel like Toriyama was preparing it for Toyotaro. Like the reason why he might have as a
well, that's what my homie
history.
said. My homie's pretty convinced that they knew.
Yeah, they knew it. Like because it would be weird. Like like here's the thing: they brought in Toyotaro to draw for Toriyama. So I feel like wanted Toriyama to, teach this guy like his tricks and ways that one day if Toriyama sensei is not there, this guy is well prepared for that day and is quick enough to formulate stories like Toriyama sensei taught him. And that's why I said that because Toriyama has been working with him for like nearly a decade now, we should really just, trust Toyotaro with his craft. That's what I meant.
Right. All right, brother. Well, take care. All right. Have a good one.
You too. You
All
too.
righty.
Thank you.
Oh, hold on. I cut you off in the middle of you saying thank you. I didn't mean to. You're welcome.
Uh,
You're welcome and thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Anyways, let me go ahead and bring Jordan in. All right, Jordan. Go ahead and gloat about the Broly thing.
Oh, hey, what's up, man? I'm not just gonna jump straight into gloating, but I will say that this chapter, like, of course, I thoroughly enjoyed it because it's essentially like the culmination of things that I've been talking about on my channel for months.
Yeah.
So
I
I
mean,
like,
it's a culmination of definitely Broly and Gohan for sure. Those two storylines, as far as getting them to where they need to be, and even Piccolo, seem to be pretty much there, right?
yeah. Well, here's the thing I loved about Broly, particularly the process that Broly went through in order to get SSJ is super cool to me, and I'll tell you why. Because it started off with Goku essentially helping Broly calm down, right? Like he helped him essentially embrace who he was, and like, so when Nagamine talked about Broly and Goku in his interview back during the Broly film,
That was a while ago.
He talked about how they were both truly pure Saiyans, and I feel like Goku has like helped Broly embrace that, right? And then Vegeta's themes have always been centered around like whenever he extended his pride to Goku on Namek, he's always been an ego themed character. So him helping Broly control SSJ through Broly embracing who he is a callback to what Vegeta helped Goku do all the way back on Namek, which I think is ridiculously cool. And then you've got Gohan, who is rage themed, helping Broly tap into his rage. So it's almost like those three characters represent different aspects
Yep.
of what Broly needed to get into the state that he's in at this point. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah, everyone is. It's sort of like how Goku learned from all his masters. It's a much smaller version of it, but it's kind of like that.
Yeah, and I really love that. I really thought that was cool.
Well, if you're a fan of martial arts, I mean, like I've said a million times, bro, if you like martial arts, like prior to even getting into Dragon Ball, you'll appreciate Dragon Ball more. So let me get to this super chat real quick, bro. K Cruiser says, when we go past the end of Z, I think Toyotaro should write Goku how he saw Toriyama as his friend and mentor, and Ubi how he sees himself, worried that no one would accept him as the new hero. I don't know about that. Like, I don't like the idea of characters being written as a reflection of real people when a character's already been written before they were even in the picture. Goku and Oob were written years before Toyotaro ever touched Dragon Ball. So for him to go and change their characters to be like him, I'm not sure if I like that. I understand where you're coming from with that, but I think they should stay as, to respect Toriyama should be as true to his vision as possible.
I agree. I agree.
Sly Rock says, I meant to say we all will love to see Goku versus Gohan breakdown. Do you think it'll turn out to be Oob that will be the strongest in the universe later? Possibly. Possibly. But he has to figure out how to use that power. And that's obviously not who Whis was talking about because we already saw him in the Moral arc. So that's not who Whis was talking about. It's not. It's Gohan. Again, this is like exactly like when they said there's a mortal in the multiverse that's stronger than a god of destruction. Oh, it's Jiren. I still get questions to this day from people. Hey, Geekdom, who's that guy they were talking about? When they confirmed like 9 times in the anime, in the manga, in V-Jump, in interviews, it's Jiren. Or
Right.
the other one was, so you know when Beerus had that vision of Goku in Battle of Gods? Was that really Yamoshi? No, it was Goku, because Yamoshi wasn't even written by Toriyama until 2017, 2018. Like, people,
Right.
I think people read the fucking Instagram and Facebook like moronic theories, and they end up having these daydreams about it, right? And they don't
Yeah,
even.
it's brain rot.
It's brain rot. Yeah, don't listen to people who are dumb
Social
like
media
that.
brain rot.
Yeah, don't.
It's,
It's like, use your actual critical thinking. Oh, wait, that doesn't make any sense.
yeah, exactly.
Teron Aries said, so clearly non-Saiyans don't have Zenkai boost, but do you think that characters like Krillin could use weapons like a staff for combat? Bulma could design it to implement their ki, yay or nay? That's more of a Goku thing, bro. Goku's going to be using the Oibo. Goku's the one that uses the staff. That's not really a Krillin thing.
Yeah.
Like, the idea of Bulma creating weapons is kind of a cool idea, but Dragon Ball's more about the martial arts, so it's just... It would have to be for a specific character. Like, if she made a weapon for herself to defend herself, that'd be kind of cool. You know, somebody tries to kill her or something. Mike Fred says, Brohan plus Vegito do the fusion dance to produce 4 Saiyans in one being to give the final blow against Black Frieza before Vegeta Hakai's him. Brother, you are going down the fan fiction route. You are deep in the black hole of fan fiction. But that would be something. That would be something. You know what I'm saying? That would definitely be something. Let me actually see if this dude... Did you go on the community tab yet and request your invite? Let me check real quick, because he might already be on there. Hold on. Oh, there's like a bunch of people on there, bro. And he's not. Bro, you literally asked me for the Discord link earlier in this call, and I put it up, and you got 4 people that beat you to it. Now you gotta wait. You know what I'm saying? Because they asked first. So get in there and follow the instructions on the community tab for tier 2 and up. So Jordan, what were you gonna say, bro? I didn't mean to interrupt you if you had more thoughts on the chapter.
Oh, I do. I wanted to acknowledge the Gohan Goku thing.
Go for it. Go for it.
So if you look at the fight in detail, okay, just like really pay attention to what's happening. So Goku compliments Beast as all of Gohan's latent potential that he's been packing the whole time, right? Which I thought was really cool because it essentially is acknowledging what Beast is. It's just like all of Gohan's
Wait a minute,
potential
hold on.
beyond.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. No, he is in there, but his name, never mind. He has a different name in there. Electro Mike Iffy. That's him. Okay, my bad, bro. I see you, and I'm sending it to you right now. Sorry, Jordan. I just got confused.
You're
His
fine.
name,
You're
his
totally
name
fine.
in our chat is different than his name there. But go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to acknowledge this idea that Gohan didn't earn Beast. So I think people
I hate that idea.
Here's the thing. I think people conflate the themes of Goku's character with the themes of Gohan's character. The theme of Goku's character is that he is a low-class warrior who trained to be above all of these super mutants that he's had to fight. You know, Vegeta being genetically superior and everybody else he's faced in the series. That's sort of the theme of Goku's character, is that he uses training to fight these titans, right? That has never, ever, ever been the theme of Gohan's character. Gohan himself is a mutant who has
You've been
all of
wanting to
this
get this
latent
out.
power.
You've been wanting to get this out.
I have.
Yeah.
He's a mutant who has all this latent power, and his training has always been centered around using and controlling that power. So when they talk about training here, they're talking about what Piccolo told Gohan he was going to help him do all the way back in Dragon Ball Z when they first met. He's helping him tap into all of his latent potential and control it. That's what this is. So, you know, Gohan and Goku are fundamentally different characters. And I just think that, you know, people conflate the two characters way too often. Like, just because Gohan, isn't like Goku in the fact that he goes from being weaker to stronger in the sense that he uses training to do that, doesn't take any merit away from his character. It actually, like, he's just a different character. If anything, it adds merit to his character because he's not just a clone of Goku.
Right,
He has
he's
his
different.
he has his own themes. So this idea that Gohan has to follow the same path as Goku, and that the fans have this idea, it just never made any sense. Like, if you look at Gohan's introduction as a character, it's nothing like Goku's at
The
all.
fact that he's part human is what makes him different and interesting. If he was just another Goku clone, it'd be boring.
Now, that brings me to the Gohan Goku fight. Now, if you look at the fight, it's very clearly an offensive versus defensive theme fight. I mean, it's very clear that that's what's going on, because Goku never uses his more offensive version of Ultra Instinct in the fight. He only uses his defensive version of Ultra Instinct, and he taps into it and uses it in a more clear manner as he's fighting Gohan. So Gohan, and a lot of people, they ignore the fact that Dragon Ball was named after one of the greatest Bruce Lee films of all time, Enter the Dragon. And one of the first lessons that is taught in that film is the idea of using emotional content in battle. And in that fight, Bruce Lee essentially tells his student to not use rage, but emotional content, which is essentially the idea of using rage, but controlling it at the last second to be as effective as humanly possible. So what we are seeing Gohan do against Goku here is essentially very similar to what we saw Goku do whenever he was using True Ultra Instinct in the Granola arc. The two ideas are very, very, very similar to each other. So this is pointing out so many things. It's pointing out, that Gohan has a technique that complements how his transformation specifically works. And it's also showing you how Goku can be a better offensive fighter. That is the entire point of this exchange, is that they are essentially exchanging knowledge, because Goku has been primarily defensive up until the Granola arc. They're exchanging knowledge, and they're learning from each other, okay? This is essentially the pinnacle of defense in martial arts on the defensive side, which is what Ultra Instinct is, being communicated to us through Goku.
Right.
And on the other end, it's the
aggression.
pinnacle. Yeah, it's the pinnacle of offensive power being communicated to us through Gohan, and combining the two is what you need to do to be like the ideal martial artist. So throwing scaling aside, people get too caught up into scaling. The point of this fight is that, each character represents a different aspect of what you need to practice to be a effective martial artist. That is the real point of this fight. And both fighters have been suggested to essentially have no limits at this point. So Goku can continuously get better using Ultra Instinct, and Gohan can continuously get better using Beast. So this scaling that people try to do, like, you literally see this happen in real time. Kakarot, like Vegeta says, Kakarot's Ultra Instinct is shifting the battle in his favor because Goku is getting better at using Ultra Instinct in real time as he's fighting Gohan. And then when Gohan uses Beast more effectively, he gets the upper hand. So it's showing you that they can both improve as they're fighting each other, which throws this like static idea of scaling that people have and that they get hung up on completely out of the window, because they're both literally getting stronger in real time as they're fighting each other. So the fact that people are getting all up in arms over the fight when we're watching two Saiyans who can bet.
I'm not surprised, bro. You have to remember that. I'm going to say something that's going to come off condescending, but I'm just going to say it. We're dealing with, there's a lot of children. Not everyone, not everybody in the fandom, but we're dealing with there's a lot of people who have minds that aren't fully developed. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of like younger people who don't understand a lot of these things who absorb this stuff. And I'm not necessarily trying to insult those people. I'm just saying I'm just pointing out why it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like if you're not aware of like what they're trying to communicate, that's fine. I'm not like necessarily trying to like diss you for
No,
that.
but
But
it's more so the emotional connection. Like people treat these
I agree.
characters like their family members, and it's weird. Like
It
it's
is weird.
weird that I've been a fan of Dragon Ball and Toriyama since I was a child, and I don't see it like that. But people associate these characters like they're related to them or something. It's very strange behavior, and it's kind of scary, kind of creepy, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but back to I really did like that they gave Gohan his own technique that complements Beast. I thought that was ridiculously freaking cool. I like that Whis references it as a personal talent that Gohan himself has. I thought that was really cool as well. But another thing, and this is something that people haven't talked about enough. It's just one panel, but it has like very significant implications. So, do you remember the panel where Broly like sees Goku and Gohan fighting and he like gets excited? You remember that?
Yeah, of course.
So that has major
He was
major
like he was like
implications.
shocked more than anything.
Well, that has well he was enjoying he liked watching he was getting into fighting
Right.
essentially.
Yeah.
And that has major implications because people have been like, you know, complaining about like Broly not liking to fight since the Broly film, which I never agreed with. I've always thought that he just didn't like battle within the context of life or death. That's always been my stance on it. But the fact that he enjoys combat from a sports-like perspective and that Nagamine basically told us through his interview back during the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie that Goku and Broly are what's considered truly pure Saiyans, essentially tells us that since Broly and Goku are an example of truly pure Saiyans, that Saiyans have always at heart craved and loved battle within the context of sport, and that the only thing that changed them was using it to kill each other and essentially falling victim to their ego. So the reason that's so cool is because it makes the entire Saiyan race martial arts themed, which I think is just ridiculously cool. I love that. I love the way they're expanding on what the Saiyans are through Broly as a character. They did a really good job doing that in the Broly film itself. But that's something I think is underrated about this chapter is just the little hints that they give about the Saiyans through Broly as a character. I think that is really cool, and I think that it's an overlooked aspect of this chapter. But overall, I loved the interaction between Broly and Gohan. I loved everything about the process that Broly went through in order to attain Super Saiyan. I loved the karma that Beerus went through, having his planet destroyed by the Saiyans after threatening to destroy Earth all the way back in Battle of Gods. I think that was a hilarious like little joke. There's so many like
literally 10 years ago, bro.
Yeah, I know. There's so many like subtle, nuanced things that happen in this chapter, and that it's just if you look at Dragon Ball as a whole entire product instead of just reading it chapter to chapter and like just trying to decipher it for each chapter, you can notice a lot of really cool, enjoyable things about this chapter particularly, but most chapters. Like there's all kinds of cool little callbacks and things that happen.
Toro likes doing that. Yeah, he does. Sometimes a little too much, but he does like doing that.
But the free for all amongst the Saiyans I thought was hilarious and very appropriate.
I wish
but
we
overall,
saw more of that, but yeah.
Overall, I also like that Goku said that Piccolo was like a brand new person.
Well,
because
also,
I think
even though I didn't like him not knowing his granddaughter, I did like when she tried to attack him and he blocked and they had that smile. Like, that was good stuff. That's like stuff in their character,
Yeah, well, I don't think he necessarily forgot about her because he doesn't care about her. I just think that he just thinks about fighting. To me, that felt like a callback. To me, that felt like a callback to whenever Goku forgot about Chi-Chi. That's what that felt like to me. If you remember, Chi-Chi got pissed.
On this page.
Chi-Chi got pissed off because Goku didn't know who she was and then tried to beat his ass. And that's literally exactly what Pan did
Yeah,
with
but
it.
the
So to me,
difference is that it's been X number of years, bro. Like with Pan, it hasn't been that many years. She's 3.
well, I don't think, like I said, I don't think he actually forgot about Pan. I just think he's been off planet this whole time, and he's just not been thinking about it. You know what I mean? Like if he would have saw Pan, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's my granddaughter." But like he's, it's not uncommon for Goku to just have his mind so sucked into his next opponent. I mean, you literally see it when he goes to talk to Piccolo. He's like, "Hey, uh, can I test your power or whatever?" And Piccolo's like, "No, I got to go pick up your granddaughter." So I think it's more so a statement on just how focused Goku is on getting stronger and fighting strong opponents than it is Goku forgetting Pan. I don't think he legitimately forgot Pan. You won't convince me of that. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Like,
I'm with you. It doesn't make any sense. But at the same
yeah.
time, it's just I don't know, man. Dragon Ball's had some weird writing quirks in the past.
But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much my piece on the chapter.
All
I
right, well,
really enjoyed it.
good.
It
Last
was
question
great.
I have is what's next? End of Z, Black Frieza, or something else?
So I think because it was stated
And I
in
also want to say,
promotional.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry. What I want to say one
You're
last
fine.
is there's no guarantee the chapter will be back in May. Manga Plus said it's coming back in May, but I'm still not 100% sure on that yet. So please be aware it does not necessarily mean it's coming back in May. Don't say, oh, Gitu said it's coming back in May. Manga Plus said it's coming back in May. If it doesn't, I'm just letting everybody know that. Go ahead.
Well, I think that this is the perfect opportunity to have Frieza become the Emperor of the Universe in the background while the end of Z plays out.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. And then they do it after.
Yeah. Yeah. So if Frieza is in space doing his thing while they're enjoying peace on Earth and he ends up becoming the Emperor of the Universe again, that works out great for the storytelling. You know what I mean? Because you want Frieza to be like an actual threat when he comes back. You don't want him to be like, you know what I mean? Like, and with him, there was a lot of hints at his intentions in the Dragon Ball Super anime. Whenever Goku brought him back to life, he essentially like he outwardly states that he intends to go after Beerus. He has Beerus as a target. He says a bunch of different things that sort of give away what they were flirting with his future intentions being in the Super anime back when it was running. So with that being said, and them also name dropping the Gods of Destruction and Frieza in Dragon Ball Super Superhero, whatever comes next is going to be a mixture of something to do with the Gods of Destruction and something to do with Frieza. That's my
I hope
prediction.
so. I hope so. We need some real stakes again.
Yeah, that's my prediction. And I do think it'll be after the end of Z. I don't think it's a coincidence that they mentioned the Gods of Destruction and Frieza in the same sentence in Dragon Ball Super Superhero. I don't think that's a coincidence at all.
Difficult to say. I can't. I'm not as certain as you are, but I mean, you bring up a good point. I'm just not as certain as you are. I'm just.
Right.
I'm
And that's
very.
fine.
I have to be careful what I say because people will misconstrue what I say. I'm just not certain. We're gonna. I'm gonna go into the watching that Sparking Zero thing here in a minute, bro. Final thoughts, and before we go, anything?
I love the entire chapter. It was a great send off to the current events. I thoroughly enjoyed it. That's pretty much it. I appreciate you having me on.
Of course, bro. I'm gonna move you back, and thank you.
See ya.
All right, Jordan the Dragon Lee. Let's get to these last 3 super chats here. I'm going to go to Sparking Zero, bro. Let's see what this is all about. Another cool video you could do is the things Dragon Ball. This is from Sly Rock. The things Dragon Ball online that super, such as Cell X, Frieza coming back, Goten and Trunks using hero attire, as well as other ideas that might come from there. Maybe. I thought I did a video like that, but maybe not. Maybe I should do that. I did cover Cell X and those things in the past. Mike Friend, yes, I got you, bro. I didn't see you in there because I'm working, but you're there, so, you know, I can't check the server right now, dude. And then Ramez Mikhail says, hey, Geekdom, sorry if I missed it, but do you think Gohan Goku are going all out? And what's your personal opinion on who you think is stronger at the moment? I'm going to do a video about that. The chat convinced me. As you can see that poll about a fight breakdown. I do think that Gohan is physically stronger. So I will say that physically stronger. Goku's probably the better martial artist, and no, they weren't going all out because if they weren't gonna, they're not gonna go all out on somebody who they care about. It's just not gonna happen. So okay, let's see. I have not seen this yet, so I'm watching it for the first time with all of you. This is from Bandai Namco. This is the new gameplay showcase.
Tremble before my power! I'll show you the horrors of hell.
It looks great. It looks fantastic.
Now perish along with this planet!
Break the heavens. There's more. That's just little. That's the you can wish. No release date still, bro. All right, here we go. Gameplay showcase.
皆さんこんにちは。ドラゴンボールスパーキングゼロのメインプロデューサーの古谷と申します。
Okay.
本日はよろしくお願いいたします。先ほど皆様に見ていただいたのは昨年12月のゲームアワードで正式発表されたドラゴンボールスパーキングゼロの初出トレーラーでした。今年の1月ドラゴンボールゲームスバトルアワー2024では宿命のライバルである悟空とベジータにフォーカスしたトレーラーを公開しましたので、もし見逃された方がいましたらぜひともご確認いただけると幸いです。たくさんのファンの皆様からの温かい声を聞いておりましたので、改めてこの場をお借りして感謝申し上げます。
Cool.
ドラゴンボールスパーキングゼロは単なる新作のゲームではなく、欧米では武道会展開地として日本およびアジア地域ではスパーキングでおなじみのシリーズ最新作となっております。そして本日はバトルシステム
It
に
must be so weird for him to say Budokai Tenkaichi when it's Tenkaichi Budokai for them. You know what I mean?
関して初公開となるゲームプレイ映像とともにそのユニークなメカニズムを明らかにしていきたいと思います。それではまず悟空とベジータによる激しいバトル映像を見ていただければと思います。どうぞ。
Under development. I don't know if y'all can probably not see it on the screen, but it says footage shown as under development. That's interesting.
Oh, I won't be losing this one, Vegeta.
It's definitely got the same feel, for sure. Much prettier, of course. Bro, so many controllers are gonna be destroyed. I thought he was going into UI there for a minute, but I guess not. Notice their costumes changed. Huh, okay. Like the clothes are ripping.
Let's go.
Nice, nice.
Do you want to see what I'm capable of? No hard feelings.
I like that. I like that.
Let's go.
I mean, it looks to be kind of what I was expecting. You know, I'm impressed, but it's not like nothing here is like too different from kind of the way that I was visualizing it and based on what we've already seen, you know. But this is not even the finished product yet. Notice that it's like, okay, wait. Did you notice that like the clouds are forming, like it's getting darker? Is that I don't remember that being in the old game at all. Oh, boost. Oh, we got a beam struggle. Oh, man. They should have to destroy your damn controllers this time. Let me tell you something. PlayStation 5 controllers are expensive, yo. I don't want to have to break those. You know what I'm saying? PS2 controllers were like 30, 20 bucks, bro. These are like 180 to 100 bucks, bro. It's expensive.
Let's go again. That okay with you?
いかがだったでしょうか。まず本作はやはりシリーズの正当進化作品ですので、過去シリーズのいい点はそのままに残しており、引き続きドラゴンボールらしい縦横無尽でダイナミックな 3D アクションバトルをお楽しみいただけることを念頭に開発を進めております。ラッシュ攻撃や派生コンボによる近接格闘だけでなく、ドラゴンダッシュを使った高速移動やファンの皆様なら思わず懐かしんでいただけるような伝統のカウンターシステム、そしてさらには激しい肉弾戦や硬派の打ち合いを楽しめるインパクトアクションなど、派手なバトルシステムはそのままに、バトルのやり込み要素だけではなく、見ているだけでも楽しめるよう演出面にも気を配っています。アルティメットブラストはまさにそのうちの一つで、最新のプラットフォームだからこそ実現できるド派手演出となっています。このゲームで実現させたドラゴンボールらしいダイナミックかつ激しいバトルを存分にお楽しみいただけると嬉しいです。そしてシリーズとして大事にしている要素だけでなく、せっかくのゲームプレイ説明の機会なので、今作ならではの新要素もお伝えできればと思います。まず先ほど基本的なメカニクスはシリーズからその DNA を受け継いでいる旨をお伝えしましたが、ドラゴンボールアクションの爽快感やダイナミックなバトルを表現可能にするためにはどうしたらよいか議論を重ね、いくつかの変更や新要素を加えました。今回はその中から4つほど先ほどお見せしたバトルの映像を使用しながらお伝えできればと思います。大きな変更点としては、通常移動を高速化して前作のダッシュ相当のスピードにしつつ、これまでダッシュとして使われていたボタンで瞬間的に高速で動くことができるショートダッシュを行えるようにしました。
It's not just going to be, I guess people who played the original are going to be able to pick it up and play it, but not as much as you would think.
これによってより柔軟な移動や動きながらの攻撃など複雑なアクションが実現できるようになりました。ショートダッシュで相手の攻撃をかわしたり、動きつつため攻撃や気弾攻撃につなげたり、ドラゴンダッシュにつなげて一気に大きく移動したりなど、プレイヤーのスタイルに合わせてさまざまなアクションができます。また基本アクションだけでなく、戦闘中に時間でたまるスキルストックを使ったアクションを追加しています。相手の攻撃を食らいながらも反撃するリベンジカウンターは、原作でもよく描かれているやられながらも攻撃を繰り出すような、よりドラゴンボールらしい高速な攻防が可能になるアクションです。
I like that.
さまざまな攻撃に備えて反撃ができる当て身技の超見極めでは、一部の気候波系のスキルをも弾き飛ばすことまでできるようになっています。いずれもスキルストックが必要量ないと発動できないもので、
captured a lot of the elements of the Dragon Ball fights, like how the fights play out in the series. They really have captured that.
ドラゴンボールらしいアクションを楽しみながらも、戦いの選択肢を広げて駆け引きの面白さを深める新要素となっております。さらに瞬時に接近して吸収できるバニシングアサルトというものを追加しています。発動には一定量の気が必要になりますが、 これは遠距離攻撃をするか接近戦に持ち込むか悩ましい中距離における新たな選択肢としてきっとお楽しみいただけると思います。
Oh, I see.
これらの新規要素によりバトルをよりドラゴンボールらしくより戦略的にお楽しみいただけると思っています。今回のデモンストレーションでスパーキングシリーズファンの皆さんが疑問に思っていたことに対してはしっかりお答えできたのではと思っております。またドラゴンボールらしいド派手な 3D バトルゲームを求めていたシリーズ未経験者の方々にとっても興味を持っていただくことができたのであれば
Flashy and
幸いです。
impressive 3D battle game.
バトルシステムに加えてもう一つ強調したいポイントを挙げさせていただくとやはりキャラクターは見逃せないかと
The
思いま
most
す。
characters of any game.
これまでの映像では新キャラクターや再登場キャラクターを多数紹介してきましたがアニメ「ドラゴンボールスーパー」からもキャラクターが登場します。
Notice he says from the anime Dragon Ball Super. What have I been telling y'all? Don't expect any of the manga stuff. Don't expect Granola. Don't expect Moro. It's not happening in any of these games, bro. That's just not how it works. Someday, maybe now that Toriyama passed, it could change down the road, but probably not. Not until those things get animated. I've been hearing about that for years now.
この後すぐに最新のキャラクター PV を初お披露目させていただきます。
And of
ドラゴン
course,
ボールらし
I
い
do
ダイナミ
think
ックで
that
迫力満
I do think Daima characters will be in this as DLC. Probably not with the game. I could be wrong, but I think it'll be DLC.
点なバトルを皆様にお届けできるよう開発に取り組んでおりますので今後ともぜひドラゴンボールスパーキングゼロにご期待ください。それではどうぞ。
So was this like this the same? Was this the? Is this a new trailer?
This is the true might of a
No, this is a different trailer. Let's go back. Okay, this is a bunch of new characters. I see. Well, not new, but new.
You'll soon understand the difference in our power. My
Super
speed is
drunk.
unmatched even among the prime teams.
This
Keep up with me, kid.
That's the fight that we never saw.
This is the true might of a Super Saiyan strength.
A mindless beast like you is nothing but prey to a warrior of love.
It's like these characters, bro. Is anybody gonna pick them? Is anybody gonna pick them, bro? Like, you know, it might be fun to try out with them. You never know. We might have some sleepers in there.
You're my prey.
How many ladies are all around me? I'm old, yes.
I love this.
Experienced.
You know I'm a big. Hey,
Founder of the Turtle School.
check it out, bro. I got the shirt right here, bro. You know I'm a big fan of this man. Look at that, bro. Exciting.
Creator of the sacred technique. The Kamehameha. Well then, let playtime begin.
That
Whether it's
Nappa
this
reminded me of
universe
the
or
abridged
another,
version.
I'm always the fastest. Don't think I'm gonna follow your orders for the rest of my life. Size means nothing when you're as quick as me. Justice.
You know what those two guys have in common? They're the two guys that Goku held over his head and then dumped their bodies. Both of them, bro. Both of them.
Prevails! Evil erased! This rampaging monster must be taught a lesson!
Come on, mate, you're a Ginyu. Get your head together. I am not going to be left in the dust. Let's do it up. Come in. Attack!
I like that.
My enemies.
Oh, it's Kale
Die.
and Broly.
Are you joking?
Notice it says Super Saiyan Broly full power. That's literally what didn't I tell you that's what it was called? Go watch my Broly transformation guide. That form where he's all buff in the movie is called Super Saiyan Broly full power. So it's not called Ikari or any of that stuff. It's called full power. Could they have come up with a better name? Sure, but I mean, what do you want me to tell you? There's a lot of wonky names. This is awesome though.
Better wrap this up quickly.
That is wild, man. Too bad we haven't seen that fight. I want to see that fight. I want to see Broly and Kale fighting. Hit.
Don't think you can enter my crosshairs and just walk away.
With that awesome voice.
You cannot
Oh, he
win.
fucked them both up.
awaken a real bona fide monster.
So they keep revealing new ones, and then this cobweb or whatever, this honeycomb is gonna get filled out. Alrighty. Oh, and it says here, oh, that's for the breakers. Okay. Yeah. Looks good. Looks good to me. Looks good to me. I'm probably gonna get my ass kicked by most of you, but I would like to try that game out for sure. And I want to try the new Sandland game. It's coming out. It's going to be a totally different kind of game, but I do want to try it. Excuse me. Because it'll be freaking a different kind of game, but nevertheless awesome. Anyways, y'all, thanks for joining me on the stream today. I hope you had a fun time. I'll be back tomorrow with more content. Videos going up until April. April, we're going to have that Toriyama documentary up. And we'll see. I'll keep you informed about what's going on with the story and Super and Daima as we go along. I have a lot on my plate right now, but I'll do the best I can. I hope that you're going to have a good day. Take care of your families and friends, and we got to spread more love in the world than hate. So do that, one person at a time. Anyways, y'all, have a good one.